Hello and good evening, all. Heather, you muted. And good to see everybody out there.
Okay, I didn't want to talk yet. That's
I
why I
can't,
was muted for
I
Pete's
can't,
sake.
I can't actually see anybody out there, but it's good to see everybody
Oh
out
no,
there.
we've got people out there.
There's Ross,
There.
Andrew.
Ads are playing on YouTube. Ads are playing on Twitch. We got ads everywhere. Ads, all the ads.
Yes. Well, we're going to do some adding and subtracting today. So
We got
Richard's
Richard.
out
We got
there.
Dave.
Dave, how are you, sir? Good to see you.
You know, I just want to say I'm not picking a bone or anything, but why does Dave always say hi, Michael, and never says hi, Heather? I guess we know who Dave's favorite is. Fine.
Oh, that's funny. All righty. So anyway, that's the way it works out. We do have some cool news out there, out in the world of streaming. As far as that goes, we actually have StreamYard has actually done an update, haven't they, Heather?
Yes, StreamYard did do an update. It's a little bit wonky at first because it's kind of different, you
Yeah.
know. Smack and you're about ready to go live, but
So
once
our suggestion is our suggestion is before you go live, make sure that you've gone through it a little bit.
yeah, you might want to give yourself more than say 5 minutes before you go live. I'm just saying that no matter what you use, you should probably give yourself more than 5 minutes.
I think you're right. And I think I learned that a long time ago. If you ever notice, like
You would think I
our
learned that.
shows and my game shows and stuff like that, I'm about at least 30 minutes ahead of time. I'm like, oh my God, they changed this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're on at the same time.
We're going to the same one, aren't we?
Now it's working and sound. She's so surprised by that. Did you notice? Live with sound. I mean, there's just so much shock there. Thank you, Dave.
We can change that now. We can change that. I can turn the sound off.
No, let's not do that. Just discovered that I don't have Twitch on my iMac. What? Oh, some kind of changes. Everybody's changing stuff.
I know it.
The new update works fantastic, says Dave. And I have to agree. It looks great. I've not used it yet because I use Restream. You use Restream as well, don't you, Michael?
Exactly. Yes. I'm a huge Restream fan. And one of the biggest reasons I'm really liking Restream is because it sends it both ways with the bot. That's one of the things that I really, and I don't know if it's doing that right now.
I was just gonna say, is that on? But I just saw it's on. So
oh, it is on. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good. Oh yeah, it is. There it is. I have to go over and see one. That's the only way I can look at it and see.
Yeah.
So good. I'm glad.
Andrew's remarking that we may have lost our checklist again, and I just can't say that we have. So there. Do you have your jingle jangles on for all of your? Yes, you do.
Look.
Perfect timing, wasn't it?
Mert, you are so awesome. Thank you so much for the donation, the super chat. You are so sweet. I appreciate you. Thank you. It means a lot. Goes a long way. And appreciate that, guys. Appreciate you guys. So yes, I have the jingle jangles on, if that's what you were talking about.
Yep, that's what I was asking about. And voila. So what are we talking about on today's Tinkering with Tech show?
Today's show is I think it's something near and dear to my heart. Anybody that knows me knows I love to do these. It's spreadsheets. We're doing Google Sheets, and I was a huge Excel fan before Google Sheets came along. And before that, I know some of us were talking about, some of you were on Lotus. Weren't you one of the ones that was on Lotus a long time ago or something like that?
No.
I don't know. I'm
just Lotus flowers that I paint. No.
And then I was on actually Quattro Pro, which was extremely robust for the time. And then Excel stole all of its features and merged into Google Docs. And today I'm going to show you why I like Google Docs over Excel. And mostly it's because of the collaboration. I have to say, the collaboration. You're going to witness that today.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what we're going to share tonight, because it is kind of cool to be able to back and forth and all that kind of stuff. Mert mentioning Lotus 1, 2, 3. Be funny.
Yeah.
Right, so we do have something fun out there, though, for those watching, that you can actually participate and be a part of the show. And we probably want them to fill that out now, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So let me get the link Let me get the link. I'm going to put the link in the YouTube chat and really hope that it goes over to the other chats like it's supposed to.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you want me to show?
I was so close. I was so close to being ready for this. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Sheila's here. Sheila's in the house.
Hey, Miss Sheila, how are you?
Most we get one ear. We get one ear.
It's your favorite subject too. Pick the great day to come on that time. All right, so let me show the sheet where you guys filled out the form. We had the group fill out a form ahead of time. So I'm going to show you the results sheet. I'm going to show that first. She has a link. So if anybody's out there and you want to fill out this form, fill out the form, and we're going to witness you adding it as we go. So let me add this too, so you guys can see this. And basically, Heather was talking about this too and said that I had to do this on screen. So I'm going to do this on screen. One thing is kind of hard to read when you have like the timestamp and then the first question and the answers.
Well, don't they like automatically they're a certain amount of
they're a certain width, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dan Soderholm. He's right. Dan Soderholm says don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up. That's awesome. It's always good. Thank you, dude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to just, let's say you want it the width of this total text that's in this cell. As you can see, this is, Jim and Chris and there's a lot of good ones. And then, but we need to make it the width. So what you want to do is you want to go, I'm going to go between cell E. You can see column E and column F. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get between E and F, and I'm going to, it forms a double arrow there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to double click that and it expands.
My question is, do you have to do it up there where the letters are, or can you do it anywhere in between?
No, it has to be up there in the column because see, I can't even get those double arrows to come up when I'm in between. So if we double click each one, this one, just all this does is accommodates the, title, but I can wrap the title. So I can take this title and wrap it. Up here it says text wrapping, and I do the middle one to do text wrapping. So now I can take it.
How did you bring that up again?
Okay. Let me go back.
A little shortcut up at the top.
Yep. I'm going to show you. Okay. So if I'm right here and I go up here, here, it's the one next to like where there's, I can click here and there's three choices.
Gotcha.
One lets it ride over, one lets it do this, one lets it go. Okay. So I could click the middle one. And then when I do it and I bring it in here, now I can actually double click and it'll double click to whatever words next to it. So for example, if I have, it's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I can make that look however I want and get as close to tinkering before pushing it to the next line. So if I do it again between C and D, boom, there you go. And then B, it's going to be a short one, but I have the word, do you have pets? So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to my menu. I'm going to go to text wrapping. It's one of the choices. I'm going to click the middle one, slide it over, probably just to, let's just make it so it's I don't want that. I want to have it 2 words per line or something like that, or 3. There you go. So I can do something like that. So there you go. That's how you do that. And that's how you can do those things. You can actually come in here and make all this upper. What's that?
Roz thinks that's a good shortcut.
It is. I think it is. And then we hit the bold. You can make that bold. So now you have the titles and then everything else down below. You can also like center a column. If I want to take this and center this column, so you can manipulate the data as it shows up and it's in. If anybody's filling out this form, they could, and then you could see the actual results. Go ahead.
And this doesn't fiddle with their answers. It's just the responses and what they look like for you and I, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to see this a little bit cleaner, a little bit more organized.
So thanks everybody who's filling out that form. It is live right now, so go fill it out. I'd really like to know who your favorite is, of course.
Yeah, it's kind of mixed. Anyway, one thing that's kind of cool too.
You're not allowed to vote twice, Michael. You weren't allowed to vote multiple times. That's not fair.
Oh, and I put myself in there about 6 times, but
sorry. Go get to your teaching. I'll stop interrupting.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's good. I like it because it has timestamps too. You can see, and notice we did it with, I think the word is anonymity, is that we didn't ask anybody to put their name in.
Right. Well, because we were asking them who their favorite was. We didn't want them to feel like they'd get in trouble. But extra points if you do pick the letter the one that starts with an H.
But it's fun. There you go. All right. So let's get on to a spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet. I made a real basic spreadsheet. I'm going to show you some stuff. Some of this is going to be fast. Some of it's going to be slowed down, whatever. You're going to be able to see
something. If something goes too quick, just please ask in the comments. I will do my very best to make sure I bring it up on screen. Okay.
Yep. So I have the sales, let's say the sales guys over here, and then which division and that kind of stuff. I mean, I could always do the standard where I highlight everything and just hit bold and do that, or I can come over here to make these bold if I want to do that. But I want to do something a little bit fancier than that. We're going to get to that in just a second. But first, what I want to show you is I'm going to teach you about some formulas, just some quick formulas, because I want to total these sales for each column and do that. And if you notice, there's a pink square because it tells me that Heather's in there with me. If you look up at the top, she's pink and her icon is up at the top. And then down here, it shows where she is on the spreadsheet. It's kind of cool. So that way, this is the collaboration part. Whenever I type over top of it, now I can do that. So I'm going to put the formula in equals. That starts all formulas. And then it automatically gave me a suggestion. Automatically gave me a suggestion right there. It says sum, and that's exactly what I want to do. So it must have seen me do that many, many times. Now, what's cool is it actually summed. If you were to sum those, that would be right. Now, one thing that's kind of neat too is if down in the bottom right corner on Google Sheets, there's a little dark square or a big square. If I double click that, it gives me right here a sum of all of that. Delete. Okay,
so
that's not what I want to do.
It basically
continues the formula on.
Or continues. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it'll carry the formula on based on that. Yes, exactly. So, but what I want to do is I want to take this little bottom corner and drag it to the right. And when I drag it to the right, watch what magically happens.
Oh, look at that.
This and up in the sum formula up here, it's now summing C4 through C7. It automatically knew based on this formula, it's saying go through B4 and B7 and then sum these. So this one says C4 to C7 and sums it. So it sums all of those. Now I want to do average. Okay, I want to do the same thing, but I want to do average of those columns.
Dear Mert calls it the magic square, that little box in the corner.
There you go. So I started to type average and look what it does, B4 through B7. It knows not to take that total one down there, but it automatically gives me that suggestion. Tell me that's not awesome.
That is pretty cool. So this is
the same thing.
Done this before, or is it gonna, like if I were making this spreadsheet, it would suggest those things to me?
It would suggest the same thing. Yes. Huh. Yes, it would suggest those same things. I never average because I'm just average. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
One thing that's cool too is I can so now, since I already have that formula for averaging B4 through B7, so we can find out like the average sales of these people based on that, and then the total sales right there. Really cool stuff. Let's say we had another region we wanted to do. Okay, so foreign region or whatever. I don't even know how to spell outside.
For those who have never done collaboration before, on my side, you can see that I'm in that box because it pops up there and you see my name in that box. On my side, when Michael's typing, it actually turns my box gray. So I know that something's happening in that box. So if I were to start, oh, here, I'll put in foreign. No, there's no need to. I know he's in that box typing. So exactly.
Yep. There you go. Awesome. Good stuff. And you can go back and forth. Is that what you did?
Because you couldn't spell foreign, you put in outside. I love that. I love that. All right.
Cell Wars. I love that.
Cell Wars. Welcome to Cell Wars.
All right. So even before I have, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you put the sum and average at the top of the column rather than the bottom?
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. If you have a ton of data, that's the best thing to do. So I can just take this, take the whole thing, bring it up here, and
What? You just dragged it?
Yeah, I took all of them and dragged them up there. Now the average is here, and the total's there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that the camera's not on, like you can't see my face because my jaw is literally on the ground. What?
Yep.
Ross so love that idea, like the old Minecraft.
So the old thing, so the thing is here, so these two formulas, I can just drag these over, even with no data in there. I can drag these over, and what it says 0, and then it has this weird formula.
Yeah.
And the reason you have that on average, because you can't divide something by 0.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So you have to have 0, 0, 0. You can't have a division by text, I should say. And when a cell's empty, it thinks it's text. So if you just put zeros in there, you'll be fine. If I add let's say make it really simple, 1,000, the average of those 4,000, boom, there you go. So you can do it like that. Then your average just is figured by that 1,000, boom, there you go. So you can see how a formula works like that. Now it's Heather's turn. Okay. So now it's Heather's turn, and what she's going to do, let me get rid of the outside line because I don't like that. It's ugly and I just don't want it. Okay. So
it messes with our data anyway.
The cool thing is we're going to go to Heather's actually, I'm going to leave it on my sheet, but what Heather's going to do, she's going to go to format, and they have a cool thing on Google Sheets. It's called alternating color. She's going to go do that, but she's going to select the box that she wants. So she has to select. She's going to go and you're not going to see this because she's doing this on her sheet. And look at that. She selected all this data, and look at that. She added her color in, and she has a spreadsheet now with her colors.
That is Craft Shack pink, by the way.
That's so cool. So and she can.
But if you don't have a color that you wanted to customize it, real quick, in one quick click, I can change it.
Yeah. So let me go over to her screen real quick so you can see what she's doing. If you look over here, see those colors up there? She's just changing, boom. There's her custom color that she added.
So I'm going to start up here in the corner. I'm going to start up here. This is actually where I started. If you can see, my cursor is up here in the top left-hand corner up there.
Above the word Bob.
Holding my mouse and dragging it over. And then it automatically picks this gray, no matter what. It will automatically pick that gray. And then I'm going to just choose whichever color I want. These are my custom styles down here. That's that Craft Shack pink that I made. And that's what we're going to leave it at because I know Michael loves that Craft Shack pink.
Absolutely. So, and I'm seeing that every time she changed that, we saw that. Remember, we saw that. The other thing is I can look at this and say, you know what? I can send her a comment. Okay. So I go over here to open comment history, and I can add a comment and say, Heather, let me put it right here. I can put it under West. Oh, well, there. Okay. Let me cancel that comment. Okay. So if I go right here on West and I go to comment, I can say, Heather, let's change the text to white. This is us collaborating. Okay. So I put a comment there. Okay. So now when she sees it, what she's going to do is she's going to see that there's a comment been made. She's going to hover over. Well, I was going to say she can hover over that West over the top right. She hovers over it, and look, my comment comes up, says, hey, I think we should change that to white. Then I can actually edit that, and I can reply. She can reply to it, and I can reply, but make it bold too. Bold too. And then boom, hit reply. So then see right away, it comes in and says, oh, make it bold too. So she highlights that text up there and then makes it bold. And then she can answer back. She can say, there you go. You can see her answering back. Done. And then I can always look. I did
that without you telling me. Sorry.
Yeah. Delete the comment. That's all right.
No, yes. I resolved it.
Resolved. She resolved the comment. So it took care of it. So it's off my list. If you go over and if I look at my list now on my sheet, it's resolved. That comment's not there anymore, but she went ahead and did it. Really cool. The collaboration part. No, you're fine. Yes, Google Sheets. I mean, Google Sheets are a lot like Excel. But
All right, here's a
to
question.
me, yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what I did. So you can specify whatever hex code you want, Roz.
You want to show her where you did that?
Yes. So are we on me now? Okay,
Yes.
so I went in here to, how did I do that? Oh, this over here, this drop down, you can choose, they have already preset colors. And then
custom.
there's a theme option as well. And then down here where it says custom, and it pops
There
up
you
with
go.
this box, you put in your hex code that you want it to be. I choose Craft Shack Pink. And then I used a version of that here for the
There you
alternate
go.
color, and done. Cool.
So see, we got our data all nice and neat. It's really kind of cool the things you can do. The other thing is too, as what you can always do is you can bring in there's a really cool thing. I'm just going to show you this last one.
Oh, one last
Go
thing
ahead.
about the color. I wanted to
Yeah.
share this with Raj. She says a few steps but doable. It's also going to be there from now on. So as
The choice is.
yeah, so when I hover over this again and I go to format and I choose alternating colors, it's down here in my custom styles, and you can add more custom styles and change them however you want to. So if I wanted to do a totally different color, let's do, that's, totally different. It's really not. It's like orange. But anyway, and then we'll do that. That looks hideous. Never ever use this combination, people.
Yeah, we're not
Anyway,
doing
so I've
that.
got two custom right
So
here. I
now
can
it's
just click
saved.
back to the first custom and not that second one, because we don't ever want to use those colors again. Okay?
Yep, really nice.
And they're
All
there.
right, here we go. So let me go back over to myself. Now here, I'm going to show you something. So I want you all to see right here. I'm going to show these, I forget, view, show formulas. So if you notice in these bottom 8 cells down here, it has formulas. This has data, just numbers. And then these all have formulas that we put in there, right? So I'm going to turn off view and not show formulas. Now, what I want you to see is right now we have 6,000 down there in this bottom one. I'm going to leave this here, and you can kind of see up here where it has the sum and the formula. Heather's going to overwrite that. She just overwrote it. She's going to put in just a number. So now she put in 1,500 and it messed up that formula. I really need to keep her.
Typical. Heather messed it up.
I really need to keep her from messing with the formula. So if she'll just hit undo, there you go. So now the formula is back. I can see because the data came back right. What I'm going to do on my sheet, I'm going to take, and I don't want her to change the names of the total and average. I'm going to highlight those cells. I'm going to go to data, and I'm going to protect sheets. And this is I'm going to name it Heather Guard. So she can't mess with those particular cells. And then I'm going to set permissions. Remember, we share this sheet. So it says right here, who are the people that can edit this range? Heather is not one of them. I just uncheck her name.
Ooh.
And I hit done.
Look at that.
What? There you go.
All right. So Mark has a question.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, so before we demonstrate how well that worked, let's get to Mark's question. Can I make a sheet and then save it as an Excel file and send it to somebody that doesn't use sheets yet? And I like that he said yet, because you're going to make them after you show them all.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, you can absolutely. One thing that I do all the time, because I'm always helping people with Google, and they're like, I don't have Google Sheets, I don't have a Google account, or they don't think they do, and they say, no, I just need some help on my Excel spreadsheet. So they'll send me the Excel spreadsheet, and then I send it. I open with Google Sheets. Once I have Google Sheets open, I do all the editing that I need to do. And then when I go to, if you look at my sheet, I'll show you where it says that. It says file. and then download. I can download as an Excel file. I can download it as a CSV file. I can download it as just about anything, a PDF.
I know PDF too. That's so cool because almost
Yeah.
everyone can open a PDF.
Yeah. So yes, the answer to your question is yes, you can make a sheet. You can actually save it as an XLS sheet to send to somebody if they need to. And I do all my editing in Google Sheets now. So yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right. So now if we go back, I'm going to go back over to Heather now. We'll go over to Heather's page. And let me go here. Yep, you're already there. Maybe no. Okay, there you are. And if you look, she tries to go enter something into one of those cells.
Hey,
there is a problem. Just gives her
No.
a there is a problem error.
And it says I have to go talk to the teacher. Darn it.
But
Right.
any cells above that where the numbers are entered, like instead of 1500, if she wanted to put in, what did you put? 2400, 2500. Look at there. It works perfectly. So you can have sections of your sheet that have formulas where you want to be able to manipulate. You want to have certain people manipulate data. This is a great functionality of Google Sheets and collaboration.
I like it because you could definitely go back to there's no problem with going back to revisions. Another reason why I love Google Sheets, because if I make a mistake, which I do often, I can just go back to a revision where I know that I didn't have that mess up and everything's well. And if I'm doing it with somebody else, I can go back and see that, yeah, see, this is where you changed it. So now that's where the problem is. Okay, we got it all fixed now, whatever. But this way, you're preventing the destruction.
Exactly. So let's look at it this way. Let's say I'm going to try and make this visually understandable why this method is better than, let's say, a revision history. So if I have a house, let's just say we're drawing. I draw a house or stick figures. I have a house that I just made. Then I put a door on. Then I put a window on. Then I put a chimney on. Well, the mistake was on the door. What happens is I have to take the chimney away. I have to take the window away, and then I can get back to the door, fix it. Then I got to go back and add the window and add the chimney and do it. That's the only thing. If you're doing a lot of data and, oh my God, he screwed up, but he screwed up way back here, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we have to do to fix that.
And in that case, you might not recognize that there was a mistake
till later.
When it happened. Yeah, until, like you say, after all this other data has been entered. So again, protecting cells, very important to do and really helpful and prevents you from a bunch of junk, especially if you are trying to just make something really simple for somebody. They input the data, the formulas are already there. It's going to calculate for you. You don't have to worry about that. It's pretty awesome.
Exactly. Oh my God. That's so true.
And I like what Roz says. I'm liking the collaboration options, and that's exactly why we like it too. So.
I agree. I mean, wholeheartedly, it's the best. Just trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's not going to work. I'm not going to do that one.
I really don't understand. There's a couple of people have actually voted for you, Michael. I don't know how that's possible. Clearly my checks are not in the mail. So here's a question I have about the data coming over from a form like we filled out. So those of you who are just joining us or joined us late, we have a form in the chat. Please go check and see and fill out that form, because we'd really like to get lots of data in here so we can play with it. But
or fill out this form.
You could also fill out the Tinkering with Tech form as well. That is an excellent idea. Join our community.
That's a form as well, just to get some practice.
That's right. That's for those of you looking for form practice. Yes. Okay.
And keep in mind, we've been notified this too. Our form is in the description of every event too. It should be in there. So I wanted to clarify that. That is where
if you are watching on YouTube, it is down in the description. If you're not watching on YouTube, please go to YouTube and look for the link in the description. Okay.
There you
so
go.
My question about the form responses. Okay.
Yeah.
I have done this before, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. But when you have a form that has responses and and you've made the form pretty like you did with the header and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you talked about locking that header. So if you had a lot of information, we'll talk about that in a second, probably. But one of the things that I have an issue with, and I'm kind of seeing it here, is that you made all of it centered, and then
Formatted, yeah.
response, yeah, you format it, and then a new response comes in, and it doesn't really adhere to those formatting rules. So how do you make it do that?
That's a great question. That's a fantastic question, and it's a very popular question. The thing is, here's the deal in a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet adds a new item every single time.
So when you're filling
out it takes when you fill it out, that format has to be there, and you can't format on a Google form. You just can't. You can't center it. You can't do whatever. It's standard. It's a request that has been given. And I suggest you send feedback in the form to want that.
Just so I understand what's going on, when someone fills out the form, they're creating a new line. So there's nothing for me to have formatted because the new line now appears once they've submitted their answers.
Exactly.
I get it. Okay, that makes total sense. I was thinking I did something wrong.
But there is script, which is a whole code background, stuff like that says whenever a new line comes in, whenever this is edited, or whenever there's an update, to automatically go and set all those formats for each column, et cetera, and all that kind of stuff. So you can add code behind the scenes that will do that for you. So it just looks like, oh my God, it's just perfect every time. So
wow. So that's a little over my head.
That's when you call somebody like me and let me go and try and figure that stuff out and get it all straight.
I know a guy. So
but that's going to cost.
So Russ says, yeah, exactly. That's where the big bucks come in. Russ says that we do some of our study groups based on Google Sheets. So that's kind of cool. So I think he means using forms and that kind of thing. Yeah. Doing the homework and things, submitting.
Collecting data. It's great for collecting data. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, by using script. Exactly, Roz. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just call a guy. I happen to, whoops, he's over here. I happen to know a guy who might be available to do stuff like that. So
yeah, I get confused on script a lot of time. I mean, I've been working on a project for work. I was talking to Heather about it today. It's been just like just blowing my mind. And it's like I told her, I told my brother, I said, we're going to do this manual. We're going to do this. We're going to work with
drag and drop. So Roz says, when bringing in a form. Yes, whenever the data is coming in from a form, that's what we're talking about. The formatting will not work ahead of time. It will work afterwards. You can go in and format after you've had some answers brought in, for sure. So Cousin Russ says, when you're presenting data, oh, that's smart. So it's like you have like live data in almost. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That is nice. So real quick, I want to show one more quick trick and we'll be done, and then we'll invite the community into our stuff. But here, I'm going to show you a quick trick. I'm going to add a sheet. I'm going to add sheet 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in equals and then come over to sheet 1. Remember, equals gets you started on a formula. And then I'm going to come over to sheet 1. I'm going to go to right here. Now, what's cool, there's nothing there because there was nothing there in that cell. But if I go like this, now I can just drag and see it's got everything that was over on that other side. Then I can also drag it this way because if you remember, it's north, south, east, west. Look at there.
So you just brought that information over from a different sheet by just dragging that?
All I did was I brought in that first formula, and because A3 was chosen on the other side, this one goes to A4, A5, A6. So all I'm doing is just showing that data from the other page. So all of that data coming in can actually be, so if I took this form and I went like this and I went, okay, equals, I don't really want the timestamp. I'm going to go right here and start with the, do you have pets? Now guess what I can do? I can drag that down. Okay, there's all my responses and answers. And then I can drag that over and look at there. Now all my data. So So what I
Now
can
you have
do
to add what
is
you want and not the excess stuff.
now I can change this to bold. I can have this at, let's say I want this column centered. Let me just change that column to center. So that, and then I also want to do our trick where we expand so it's the right width, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Those the right width. I'm going to get rid of this other data because it's going to look confusing to you. I just got rid of that. And then this one. Okay, so here's where we have all these. And again, this doesn't have to be fancy. We can just make this one, wrap it. And I know I'm doing it fast, but I'm just doing it
No,
just
it's fine.
time, and everybody can see.
It's
But if you
magic.
notice, but
You-
look, if I do this and it's centered, if I center everything, oh, I did the wrong thing. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, okay. Let's do center right here. So now that's centered. Even though over on the original form, see how that one is skewed on that bottom line? Because I do all my formatting here and this is the visual one, I can go and do your trick. Here, let me delete these just to make it easier to see, I think. Delete rows. Okay. So now I can just make this, select that whole thing, and I can make this go on forever. I don't have to do this. I can just make that go on forever. So, I mean,
right. So your formatting will come over because it's bringing over information and you're doing the formatting on this side.
Exactly. All the formatting is done here. So it looks just like this. This is exact same form, exact same data. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
But it's right there. And it looks a lot prettier.
And now it looks prettier.
Yeah. And you can visit,
Wow.
like I can see, okay, so that one right here, this column right here is all in the white section. So I can read that better together. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
Yeah. So Roz asked this question. I don't really understand the question. So creating a bit.ly shortcut forms would translate into sheets.
Okay, so if you have a form that has a big long link like what we did, like what Heather, I think this is what she's talking about. Like Heather had that big long link, and you wanted to make a bit.ly short one, say this is a bit.ly, let's just call it, whatever. Monday, yeah, our fun form or something like that. Something short and readable. As long as that's connected to that Google form, yes, it's fine. It will always go to that
So
form.
it's a Google form that then puts those answers into a Google sheet.
That's correct. And you don't have to have it go into the sheet. If you look at Google Forms, let me go over to that real quick so you can kind of see. Oh, let me go to mine.
So while you're looking at that, do the links themselves come over as clickable?
I'm not sure what she means by that.
I'm not sure either because I don't know which links. If you had links within the sheet, yes, the links would be clickable if they are formatted properly.
So here's all my responses. I don't have to have it in Google Sheets. The responses come in here. I got individual ones. It shows me this, and this is like the next person, the next person, the next person, all these. Here's all my responses for the question number 4 or whatever it is. So you can have them come in that way. You don't ever have to create a Google Sheet. Google Sheet just gives you a way to see it come in. So I haven't filled in the form yet. So I'm going to go over to the community. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I was just going to say, so one way that I like to use forms is for like giveaways and needing like your address to mail you the item that I'm giving away. So I can very easily take that spreadsheet with all the responses and save it as a CSV, separated values. And then I can go into my Avery labels, upload it, boom, and make labels. And now I can ship off all the art that I give away to the folks who filled out the form.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So do I have pets? Yes. And I don't know if I should show this or if I should probably show the results afterward. Because I want you to see it come in lined in order, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want to see, right?
Yeah. I also want to tell you, Russ brings up a good point. I want to just bring this up while you're doing that. I have a form. This is from Russ. I have a form on my blog where the reader can ask me a question. I'm notified and will do a blog post answering that question, which is really cool. You can be notified. I love that when you turn that on, when somebody fills out your form, you can have notification come in saying there's a response to your form. It's awesome. Great. Great
There you go.
point.
Yep.
And that's a cool use of it, Russ. Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to submit this and you're going to see my results immediately over on this form in my new fancy form or whatever that I created. And it's all going to be formatted. It's not going to be skewed. So I enter it in and it takes forever because we got too much stuff going on. Your response has been recorded. Well, you know what? It's taken forever, or I might have to refresh the screen to see the data come in. I don't know, but hopefully it comes in soon. Yep. Well, that's going to come in. It's going to come in format. It's going to all be cool. So
are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't either. Because I see your answer on I see your response on the original sheet, but I don't see it on two.
Really?
Yeah, because
No.
I don't think you drug down far enough with your
You know what it is?
Yeah,
No,
I think
12. I have B11, B12, all that's on there. Interesting.
Well,
So it is over here. B10. I didn't skip it, did I? Did I skip B10, B9, B11? I did.
Wow, you
That's
skipped B10, which is the one that has your info in it. Very good. So Roz says yes.
But as you can see right here, you can see it did come over for me. Sorry, I'm sorry I didn't do it right.
I'm impressed with your answer though to question number 3. All right.
Thank
So Roz says yes, the links that Bitly are being then still clickable in Sheets. They should be if they are formatted properly, as in the HTTPS. Isn't that the way it works?
Yes, exactly. Oh, so she's saying she's talking about a clickable Bitly link inside of a Google Sheet. And Google Sheets, that's the other thing that's beauty because it's on the internet and anybody that has Excel, it's not on the internet. So a clickable link, you have to deal with. I'm sure it will work, but it opens probably in.
I can't even think of a Bitly link. Like I haven't used one in a long time, so I can't even think of one to put in there to try, but
I have to go to my Bitly account and go pick one.
Me too. All right, let's see what else Roz says. I like to add extra my response to info I gather from the form is why I like the Bitly link with the info in a sheet. I might be missing that. So maybe in the after Backstage Pass, if you could pop in and explain that, Roz, that might help.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
She has to go, so.
Oh, does she? Of course. All right. Well, listen, that was fun, folks. We enjoyed it. It was awesome. I don't want to spend too much time. You guys that are members, come on into the after party. It's waiting on you. After party, Backstage Pass, whatever you want to call it.
It is pretty much an after party, so it's okay.
This is fun. It was very enjoyable. I hope you learned a little bit. I will elaborate.
Clicking the thing, I love that. That was great. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you could lock me out, there's like Heather proofing a sheet. I love that.
I don't know why you would love that, but okay, that's cool.
Oh, because then I can't mess it up.
I got you. Okay.
And I don't have to call that guy.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, folks. Thank you. We appreciate you. Everybody is awesome. Please remember we're over on Twitch and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times we cast to Twitch, YouTube, and sometimes Facebook if it works, but I never know. Remember, we have a paid for community. Please sign up for the community. There's a lot of cool stuff that we do with the daily tips. And go ahead, Heather.
I also want to say, if you guys have a request for what you would like to see us tinker with, let us know. We would really like to get to the bottom of burning questions you guys have. So let us know. If you're watching this in the replay, please give us an idea for another episode of Tinkering with Tech.
That's it.
And thank you, Dave. I appreciate you putting my name first. Your check.
Dave's learning quick, I tell you. All right, gang. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
All right. See you, gang.